Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back, KS family. Our community's mission is to bring more kindness, integrity, skill, and real wealth to the world via crypto. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 0.07%, ooh, 007 to 41,682. Ethereum down 1.04% to 29.97. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that there's always hope. The sun will come out again. You're not alone, and our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. kstandf@gmail.com is the official email for our community. If you're receiving any other emails from any other addresses, please make sure you check it's actually from me and not from a scammer. Also, you can contact me on Twitter. I'm at StanfieldKen, and I've left the link to my Twitter profile and some other helpful resources in the description of this video. Please know that what I do is actually share my knowledge. I do knowledge transfer. I don't do any trades on behalf of anybody else. If somebody is reaching out pretending to be me, or anybody reaches out to you and says that they'll do the trades for you, run. They're in all likelihood a scammer. There is no easy path to success. Success is forged on knowledge. The only thing that I have is the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. The link is in the description below, and you can get to it at www.cryptotechnicalanalysis.org. The highest honor in crypto technical analysis is the CTKS Ambassador designation. Ambassadors have shown their dedication and commitment to crypto technical analysis in all its facets, especially the real wealth aspects of integrity, decency, and kindness. And you may say, what does this really matter? Integrity, decency, kindness? Don't we just analyze price action and try to figure out when to buy and when to sell? Integrity and kindness is really, really important. Without integrity, people can misrepresent charts, and they do it all the time. As crypto technical analysts, we do not do that because we form a basis of integrity around everything we do. Kindness is critically important as well because we exist to benefit other people. You can see the current ambassadors when you come to this page, and you can contact any of those by clicking on the relevant button. That will just take you across to Twitter. Ambassadors have an 80% off coupon that you can use to actually purchase the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. As a lot of people have found, the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass is very, very different from any other form of masterclass or class that you will get on crypto out there. It actually updates all of candlestick analysis. Candlestick charts were developed in the 1700s. The CTKS method completely upgrades hundreds and hundreds of years of candlestick pattern analysis and basically replaces it. It's a method specifically designed to reflect the exponential price movements in crypto, and it's done in a really fun way, just foundation by foundation, laying the bricks of knowledge just one at a time. As a community, we focus on real wealth, and real wealth is there to get rid of self-sabotage. It's there to decrease fear, if not eliminate it. Self-sabotage is a really insidious thing because we're not aware that it's actually occurring. Rule 715, be aware of self-sabotage. So how do we be aware of something we're not aware of? It's all about the direction and focus of the life, maintaining a positive excellence life trend, bringing your best self to every day, understanding that life throws us tests, and passing those tests is really, really important. being a person of integrity and decency, of kindness, of gratitude, having happiness, generosity, empathy and love. That takes a lot of courage to do and a lot of fearlessness. This world is not a kind place, but we can be the change we want to see in this world, and that's what our community is all about. It's one thing to become rich and focus exclusively on money, and many people do that because they feel a deep sense of scarcity and they feel a need to compete. Actually, there is no such requirement. When you understand the rules of money, you can create wealth. Wealth whispers, riches shout. They scream, really. In yesterday's video, I asked the community about what they found really good about real wealth. I want to share just a few quotes with you. Thank you to Peter. Peter's lying in bed with a stomach bug. I hope you get well soon, my friend, and thank you for taking the effort and energy to do this response. It's not often easy when you're not well. Peter said, being the best version of myself every day is what he focuses on through his daily actions. Well done, my friend. That's just beautiful. In yesterday's video, I said, please just pick one of these particular words which you find most compelling, most interesting to you. Philip shared the word fearlessness. It's probably the favorite word from the real wealth section. With fearlessness, we can develop confidence, and kindness and forgiveness are really, really important. Kindness can build a better world, and our kind efforts can outlive us and continue to improve the world long after we've gone, even in the tiniest, most incremental way. Just beautiful, Philip. Tails also agreed, fearlessness stops us from being generous because we fear there won't be enough. It stops us from being authentic because we fear that we will not be accepted for who we are. We will have no peace with fear. That's a really good point. We won't be balanced or satisfied because we fear to miss out on something. Fear pulls the strength out of us. We lose our boundaries, which makes it hard to be or to stay kind. Fearlessness is the key, if you ask me. Oh, Tails, you're a poet, and you did know it. When people live from a positive excellence life trend and gain the components of real wealth, all of their wealth will increase, not just monetarily, but in every way, shape, and form. Their relationships will get better. Their work life will be more enjoyable. Everything just improves with real wealth. Rule 138, all investors become traders every time they buy or sell. With this in mind, many investors actually get pulled into the market when there's a lot of hype. The mindset becomes one of fear, especially fear of missing out. And when people get into the market and they get locked in to a downtrend, they can make some fairly significant losses, and they may have a fear that everything is going to zero, and they will sell just before things start to turn around. Professional traders and investors are in Zone 3. You can look at Zone 1 and Zone 2 as the certainty zones. People really want absolute certainty in what they do. I call it the certainty trap. People light switch in. They go all in or all out. And going all in and all out is always the worst thing you can possibly do. People in Zones 1 and Zones 2 really want to capture everything, and they want perfect timing. In Zone 3, people actually, professional investors and professional traders, they buy into downtrends. They hold increasing losses. This is really important to understand. In Zone 1 and 2, losses are viewed as abnormal. In Zone 3, losses are actually celebrated. This is not what institutions tell retail investors. They say, oh, if you get a loss, you should sell. Why is that? Why do retail listen to institutions giving them all this advice? Because the institutions are the ones that buy from retail. Because there's so much panic inside Zone 1 and Zone 2, people literally get indicator addiction. They want to get every single indicator. Professionals use very few, if any, indicators, and whatever indicators they use are the Rolls-Royce versions. And Rolls-Royce indicators don't mean that they cost a lot. They mean, Rolls-Royce indicators mean that they actually give the best market signals. So here we see investors and traders in Zone 1 and Zone 2. That's a license to lose money. Zone 3 is a license to print money. And Zone 4 is how you actually keep the money. Just making money by itself doesn't do anything. If you don't have the right mindset, you can end up with nothing, if not less, than what you actually gained. That's why we look at the real wealth section, because keeping money, especially intergenerationally, and being more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love is the focus of what we do. I'd like us to consider an example, if you like, a bit of a thought experiment. Here is Theta token. Theta token has come down about 80% from this top to the current price. What would your advice be if a particular person had the majority of their holdings inside Theta token? Would you say, okay, Theta's come up a lot and it's now retraced and it's going towards zero, you should sell? What would be the advice? Because there's a very, very different level of advice between retail and professional. Professional advice would look at this particular chart very, very differently. For example, if you looked at Theta here, when you had this spike, many retail investors would sell on this spike. Professionals buy this spike because they're always looking for these kind of really negative price momentum movements to come in and come out. And there is no day trading in the masterclass. We don't recommend day trading, but you can apply all the methods to day trading if you wish, of course. But we always know price is moving in a wave. It's always going down and then back up. And why does it go up and down? It's all about resistance and support lines. What we can see here, for example, with Theta, it's moving up and down, up and down. What is your advice to a person who maybe has made an 80% loss in Theta? I'm just going to turn that volume off because that red spike was going all the way up there, giving a distortion, losing the integrity of that chart. That is how important integrity is when it comes to actually looking at charts. So many people create a narrative and just fit it around a chart. That's not the way to go. So what would be the advice to a person who may have, for example, bought up here? This is about an 80% reduction from that point down to around here where current price is. Would you recommend that person sell, or would you recommend some other particular alternative, and why? Most importantly, why? As a community, we understand Rule 4, price moves in waves. All of the rules I share with you are part of Zone 3 behavior. We know that the price waves in crypto can be really big, and they can be big to the upside and big to the downside. We just want to make sure that we surf the waves with an institutional smart money mindset, not a retail mindset. In Zone 3, we're always looking to stack probabilities in our favor. We don't just look at one data point and make up our mind from there. We need a lot of cross-referencing data. One way that we can stack probabilities in our favor is to look at the market capitalization of stable coins. Masterclass students, you will get my live chart here in TM14. When I look at this chart, one thing that I notice is the uptake in market capitalization of BUSD. That's the Binance US dollar stablecoin. I also see USDC coming up, and I note that USDT Tether is starting to come up as well. A lot of people don't really understand stablecoins. You can think about it this way. You have your fiat currency. It could be USD, it could be Mexican pesos, Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, Singapore dollars, euro. It doesn't matter what it is. Fiat is the term given to government-based currency. What we have are stable coins in the crypto market, and central bank digital currencies are trying to replace these stable coins. That's what's coming next, but that's a little way off as well. When you look at USDT, which is called Tether, or USDC, which is called Circle, what you actually see is that we transfer fiat into a stable coin. This creates an income to capital ratio, and it's really important to understand how this works. I've just got a screenshot and I'll explain that in a minute. What we do as professionals is we transfer from fiat into stable and then to buy. We can use fiat to just buy a crypto. That is okay, but you don't want to take a crypto and sell it back into fiat. Why is that? Because what actually happens is that you can get income effects from this. For example, here are just a few things that you might like to keep in note. When you're actually buying, for example, Bitcoin or anything else, it doesn't really matter. There is always a taxable event when you buy or sell crypto. And that can apply to many things, even staking. So please be aware of that. Just hunt out a good crypto accountant. A crypto accountant. A lot of people think that the taxation regimes have already been set across the globe. Nothing could be further from the truth. The tax regimes, when it comes to crypto, are all up in the air and they change literally daily. But one thing that you must be aware of is what's called a disposal. When you actually buy a crypto, you're transferring money in. That's a non-taxable event. But when you dispose of a crypto, you get another pair, say a stable coin, or you transfer back to fiat. That is a disposal. That is a taxable event. Now, just have a look at this. Tether proceeds. What we're actually seeing here is there was about $2.7 million worth of transactions in this specific time across Tether. Look at the fees. The fees can hit, absolutely. And look at USDC, about 600,000. What I wanted you to note is this column, capital, profit, and loss. There was a $6,800 profit on the transfer from crypto into Tether, and this actually happens because the exchange rates fluctuate around so much. And look at USDC, there was actually a loss. You can offset these losses and gains according to the gains and capital losses of the cryptos. But what happened if instead it was into fiat? If it was into fiat, it will make its way into this income column. You don't want that, because income you cannot offset on terms of capital gains or losses. You really need to talk to your accountant about this, because the latest information is what you need. But when it comes to transfers and disposals, please be aware that keeping capital to capital will make your accountant happy. That's what I was referring to in the last video. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit. USDC, USDT, BUSD, DAI, they're all forms of stablecoin. What we see is increasing market capitalization. This is a restoration in confidence. Notice how BUSD, Binance, the largest crypto exchange in the world, it was going up as Bitcoin's was coming down, Bitcoin's price. Look at this. This is really, really important to understand. There's so many edges that you can have in the crypto market. One edge simply isn't enough. You need a lot. Another thing we do is to look into the fear and greed index. When there's a lot of fear in the market, you don't need a PhD to understand where the fear is. That's that red stuff. What about the greed? Oh, that's green. Green for money, I guess. Ooh, fiat money, naughty money. When we see a lot of increasing fear over a long period of time, like what we've gone through just recently, we see a lot of retail people starting to sell, and they will start to sell near the bottom. Why will they do that? Because so many influencers have a retail mindset. They have no understanding how to trade. They may be really, really good investors, but the problem is Technicals override fundamentals. For example, when Bitcoin was coming down here because of the China miner exodus, it didn't matter what the fundamentals were of Bitcoin. That was coming down, and the technicals told us so. We always knew it would recover, but the issue is that is only from an institutional perspective. We knew it would recover. So many channels down here, so many influencers around this $30,000 mark were saying Bitcoin was going to zero, and unfortunately a lot of innocent people listened to that and they got smashed. And what happened? It went back up to above the previous high. This is something that you need to be really aware of. If you're getting freaked out and saying to yourself, I should sell, that's probably the time that you should actually be buying. That's what I teach inside the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass, how to control your emotions. A very good comment was, emotions control us in zone 1 and zone 2. In zone 3, we control our emotions. And in zone 4, those emotions are really beautiful. What we notice is price coming up. And for the past 3 months, price has basically been coming down. A lot of retail investors and traders, people with a non-professional mindset, would have been shaken out of their positions along here, and they would have been shaken out by smart money. It's unfortunate that the market works in this direction, but we have to be aware of the rules. If we don't know the rules of the game, it's really hard to play that game. Another incredibly important rule is no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Let's have a look at what is happening to Bitcoin. I just want you to pay very particular attention. You've got a U and an up leg and things going flat. Please remember that particular pattern. Just remember that pattern, because it's going to come in and play inside the entire crypto market. What did we see about Bitcoin's current price behavior? It's just edged up above 41,933. This was a fairly solid level of resistance, and now we've broken above that. What does that actually mean? Look at these particular lines here. These are resistance lines. When price gets up to around 43,393, we're going to have some very steep resistance. It's only when we passed above those particular lines for some degree of time and we reach 44,402 that we've confirmed an uptrend. Oh, what's this guy? Oh, that's Percy, the magnetized price sheep. We were introduced to Percy in the previous episode, and this is all about making learning fun. Everything in life should be fun. I mean, if it's not fun, hey, why do it? Our resident artist, Tales from the Man Cave, created Percy the magnetized price sheep. And what is Percy all about? Okay, let's just get Percy down there. Let's make him smaller. Poor old Percy's become smaller. What happens is, as price moves, you can think about these support and resistance lines as being fences that keep the sheep in. Now we see, for example, down here, maybe I'll just zoom in there. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now, Percy the magnetized price sheep, the MPS, or PMS, as somebody said, very funny. Percy is literally the price of this crypto, and Percy is reacting to all these lines, these support and resistance lines. Percy got above this resistance line playing here, and he jumped over the fence of price, and he was in a new paddock. He was going uphill, and then he hit another fence, and ouch, that really hurt. He just dropped down. Now, where is Percy going to stop? Correct, when he hits another fence. And this is why support and resistance lines are so important. You can see Percy jumped over the fence and went to jump over this one and was just, he wasn't very committed. He thought, I'll just go back here. And he collapsed. He got pulled across the fence. And then when price came down, it came down to a definable level. And then what happened? Percy was trying to get out of the fence, jump over the fence into the next paddock of price. No go. He got rejected. He needed to build up strength to do a bigger jump. And he took a real running jump at this. Look at that strength. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He got over the fence. No problem. This is what price actually does. And we all the time are trying to figure out, is a particular support line, is it going to hold or is it going to fail? Look at how price just merged across this line. Percy jumped into the other field and tried to jump this fence again. No luck. But what happened? Came along. Percy was magnetized to a lower level and gathered strength and did the run up, jumped across the fence. And one thing that we see, when a particular resistance line is hit multiple times, when poor old Percy bangs his head against this particular resistance line again and again and again and again, when Percy gets through it, he's really going to rock it. He's going to get a rocket attached to him. That's what price does. And what did we see? A rejection here. Lower level of support, held that, dropped down, lower level. These lines are literally magical. A lot of investors are really not sure how to draw support and resistance lines. The problem with this is they don't actually know where price is going. And if you don't know where price is going, how do you know what your investment will do? Have a look at this. Percy was wobbling across this line, gathered a bit of strength, tried to get up here. Oh, not too good. But it was hanging around near the fence, and then he got up and over that fence, jumped into the next price paddock. But what happened? This previous resistance was pushing Percy back to what? What level was he pushed back to? Correct, that previous support, previous resistance. And then what did Percy do? He said, okay, you're not holding me in. I'm going to strap a rocket on me and I'm going to go through all of this. And remember this one, this particular level at 38,935, Percy banged his head there so many times, but Percy's got a rocket on him now. Tails, that could be a good one. And what did he do? He blasted through, but where did the rocket stop? Here, because the fences actually extend. This is why you must know support and resistance. In the masterclass, we have so much fun. You'll see many examples where I'm trying to make everything really, really easy to understand, but also pretty memorable as well. Whoa, Percy's getting a rocket attached to him now as well. Where's he going to stop? Yes, here. And where? Here. This is the way that price works. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if Percy just starts to wobble around this area, if he manages to get above it. But at least we know. What happens typically is that many investors and traders rely on hope. I hope it's going up. I've heard this influencer talk about it. It's going to go up. He showed me a chart and he said it's going to go up. You can't rely on that. You have to have your own knowledge. I know so many people who have got so much money in the crypto space, they do not invest in their education. They're going to suffer losses. It's inevitable. We've seen Percy had his rocket strapped to his back and blasted through this previous resistance line, and this is what happens. But Percy couldn't go too far because those forward extended lines actually trap him. And now what we're seeing, we're getting the rocket strapped again, but this is an electrified fence. It's a little bit harder to get through. Percy will require some bolt cutters and some electrical knowledge to short out this fence. One thing that all Zone 3 and Zone 4 professional investors and traders do, they know what they will do if price goes down, goes up, or goes sideways. Retail only knows one direction. That's why they get so much incredible stress. Please get rid of the stress by thinking in this multi-dimensional manner. What that basically means is that Percy is going for the electrified fence here. He wants to get over that. He wants to jump up over that electrified fence. But the fence is electrified. It's not going to be easy to get through. That means Percy may have to do something like this. Remember, Percy was butting up against this, butting up against this, butting up, and then had to recover, get his strength, and forge through it. This is price action in crypto. Just be aware. What we could see is price potentially coming back to 38,935 or even 37,406 if it doesn't blast through and get to this other side. Please be aware of these things. A lot of retail influencers are saying, oh, this is so bullish, it's only going to go up. Go all in and more. Please run from those people. So we can see Percy desperately wants to get above or beyond this electric fence to join his friend, but he may not make it. So what we need to think about is, if Percy doesn't make it, where could Percy's price come down to? Percy the magnetized price sheep. Well, it's really interesting. When I was lecturing first and second year stats, as you know, I would always use the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to cement a really, really easy example. And I use these kind of examples all over the place. I think that learning should be a joy. It shouldn't be a burden. What we can see is price may make it through this electrified fence if Percy gets enough strength, and he's had enough strength in here to accumulate some power, and we're seeing that. But what are the sellers doing? Because there exists a force inside the market that doesn't want Percy to jump over that electrified fence. You can see Percy came up here, but he's being pushed down. He's being pushed away from the fence. Now, what do we see? We can see that this is a particularly strong level of resistance for price, but it will become a particularly strong level of support also. We have these upward supports coming into play along, for example, the 41,933 mark, and we're getting there to the 43,337, but we need to get enough power. And that's why this just didn't go and blast through the electrified fence. It went horizontal like this, and we're going to see this play out on the majority, potentially 99% plus of the alts. This flatline behavior is Percy trying to push up, but the electrified fence saying, you're not going there. When Percy straps on that jetpack, that rocket, he can rocket through there. Just be aware of these things. We could also see Percy try to regain his strength at either the 38,935 level or even the 37,406. This would be just normal price action and nothing to be concerned about. Something that can help us to try and figure out if Percy can jump that electrified fence or not is looking at options. Friends don't let friends leverage trade or do options. Actually going at spot is hard enough for most people, and I think with the inherent volatility of crypto, please just avoid all forms of leverage. Let's have a look at the put-call ratio for options expiring at the end of the month. That's February 25th. We can see there's a lot of call options in the market. That means people are expecting higher prices. We've got all the way up to 140,000. The max paying price is $40,000. This is the point at which most options expire worthless, and about 75% of options typically expire worthless. Please be aware that the numbers are against you. When people first join the crypto market, they may be inclined to gamble, just throw the dice and see where it lands because they haven't acquired the knowledge yet. That is understandable, but the problem is professional gamblers do not gamble. They run the numbers. They know what's going on. Let's have a look at liquidations over the past 24 hours. $142.8 million occurring across nearly 46,000 positions. We can see around 61% of those liquidations were short liquidations. You can see also that longs and shorts are getting liquidated day in, day out. This means that if you go long and short to hedge your position, you can get liquidated in both directions. I've seen it happen more times than I can count. Rule 28, opportunities reset daily. We've looked across the entire crypto space and we've focused in on Bitcoin and what it's doing. We understand support and resistance lines, and hey, we have a bit of fun doing it, and that's always a nice thing. Just like in life, Rule 28 applies. When opportunities reset daily, this means there's always profit in the crypto market. It doesn't matter what price is doing, going up, going down, going sideways. There are always opportunities, but you need to have the knowledge. You need to know how to find them. It's the same in life. If you have a specific opportunity-based mindset, and I don't mean taking advantage of other people, that is not ever an opportunity. Opportunity is the chance to learn and grow, the chance to be better every day. If you have that particular mindset, it doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Today will be a great day because you'll make it one. Thank you, Nick, for sharing your thoughts on real wealth. Nick says that the real wealth section has been life-changing. Nick is finding being more caring and kind to other people. That's a really beautiful thing. And thank you, Peter, for your kind comment too. Jason had a really good comment. Real wealth in the masterclass is all about inner and outer peace, understanding that there is enough abundance for every person. This is really, really important. There is just abundance in nature. It's no different in our lives as well. Real wealth is how much value you can add to other people's lives. The more value you add to this world, the more the universe rewards you. We as a community don't operate from fear and greed. Having integrity along with a positive excellence attitude, knowing that opportunities reset daily. It's super important to understand that our thoughts create our reality. And Flamingo said, thoughts are things. Indeed they are. Thanks so much, Jason. And thank you, Flamingo. And thank you to Stefano as well. No matter what it is that you're focused on in life, always invest in your knowledge. It's no mistake that the highest paid people are the ones with the most knowledge, and the lowest paid people are the ones with the lowest levels of knowledge. Always invest in your knowledge. When we look at the first 8 cryptos, I want to just show you how Bitcoin's price, remember Percy the magnetized price sheep, strapped on the rocket and went through that resistance. Now we know that there's a resistance above. It's like an electrified fence. So Percy's seeking to gain momentum there. Let's have a look. How does this play out? For example, across Ethereum, we can see a very similar fingerprint. What about Solana? Very similar, but instead of it being relatively horizontal, it's more downward pressure. This is showing that the electrified fence above is stronger. What about Binance Coin? Yeah, it's stronger as well. What about Cardano? Stronger. But notice this, when Percy hopped on that rocket and started to shoot up, what are we seeing here? Look on ADA, it's starting to shoot up. What about here on Ethereum, starting to shoot? Solana, this is Bitcoin's gravity. Really, really important to understand. XRP shooting up. What about DOT? Whoa, really going for it. This is great. What about Luna? Luna is very, very powerful. It's starting to shoot up too. I want you to keep this pattern in mind. See how Bitcoin's gravity actually impacts the other alts. That's why we're on the 30-minute chart. I just want you to be able to zoom in here with some context of previous price action. I'd like to thank Brett for his really great comment here. It's very visual, and I found that visual really, really works in terms of learning, and it's all about knowledge transfer. So Brett was saying, tests. One of the changes I have put in place is the concept of the daily life tests. I think it's a little like getting hit on the head by a ball when you go out for a walk. Your initial reaction is to look around and probably pick up the ball and throw it back at someone. But now what Brett says, I pick up the ball and read it. It has a message written on it that's usually something like, hey, hi Brett, how are you enjoying today's life challenge? Some days I reply, good one, and other days I say, you pesky ball, I was about to blah blah blah. And then I stop myself, but I don't throw it back. I don't get angry. Very good, Brett. Beautiful. Why? Because it just upsets my life the most in the end. I say to myself, another life challenge passed, just beautiful, and go on about my business. The ball doesn't stop coming for you. All you can do is change your reaction when it hits. Just absolutely magnificent, Brett. When we talk about daily life tests inside the masterclass, it's important to know that we are always being tested on our integrity, on our word, on our commitment, on so many different things. It's really important to pass those tests. And the concept of getting panged on the head by a ball when you go out for a walk, and that is the test, that's really, really good, Brett. I would urge you to read the comments from yesterday's video. They're just so brilliant. And Marco, wow, fantastic. This morning I met Percy the magnetic price sheep, and I'm still laughing. But I have visually tied up resistance and support lines to different kinds of fences, and funny sheep jumping from one property to another. And he was mentioning about zone 1 and zone 2, letting emotions control us, and zone 3 and zone 4, taking control of our emotions and actions. This is the quality of our beautiful, beautiful community. We're really deep thinking as a community, and we're very, very supportive. From today, I'll consider any single chart as an extended property made up of grasslands, mountains, fences, and sheep that can move around. Fantastic, Marco. I love your little emojis. Looking at the next date, what we want to see is the comparative difference between Bitcoin going flat and now recently just going towards that electrified fence. When we see Dogecoin, it's looking good and it's looking like Bitcoin. But look at SHIB. SHIB is just going parabolic. This is why certain alts will have certain amounts of power. You always want to back more power whenever possible. AVAX looking really good, just making its way up. And this is why Bitcoin's gravity is so incredibly important. When you understand that, you'll understand a lot about the crypto market. There's a lot more to it, but these things are really, really important. Matic is starting to come up. Litecoin starting to come up. We can see Filecoin starting to come up. Theta also starting to come up. Chainlink starting to come up. And what do we know? We know that there's pretty heavy resistance above Bitcoin's price. Percy the magnetized price sheet is making a jump at that electrified fence. Just bear in mind that he may not get through the first time. He may require a couple of times. Sir Tachyon had a really good thing about real wealth, balance, slowly gaining knowledge, steadily marking up charts, setting buy orders and sell orders, relaxing and waiting for the results to come. Many people are in an absolute hurry to do really, really well. And why not? That makes a lot of sense. But the only problem with it is that it's zone 1 and zone 2 behavior, which will create the exact opposite outcome of that what you want. Basically, Sir Tachyon says, in the coming days, wait for the results to come. In the coming days, weeks, or months, they could take their time to come. We don't force the market to do what we want it to do. We work within the market. And he says that the next opportunity is just around the corner. One thing crypto technical analysts do, they look for strength, they look for power. It's really important to get behind power. We can see Bitcoin Cash just reflecting the move in Bitcoin, but not to the same degree. Just be aware of these things. Tron is looking quite good. It's looking powerful. Let's have a look at Decentraland Mana. It's had a bit of a retracement here. Look at Axie Infinity, just in a constant uptrend. Pretty impressive stuff. Let's have a look at Rose. Rose mirroring Bitcoin, but showing a degree of weakness down to a support level where of course the fence was drawn in and price rebounded from. VET, what do we see VET? Getting above that level of resistance. This is really good. Look for comparative analysis when you're looking at these cryptos. FTT token, we can see some strength in here. You can see all the cryptos, your beloved alts, they actually get their power from Bitcoin. It's like Bitcoin is their energy generator. Just keep that in mind. Really, really important to understand. Cosmos, we can see that leg up as well. And Badger, talking about the real wealth section, these absolutely loving it. There's no wrong answer to your question, and that is absolutely correct. But if I had to pick one word, it would be love. Oh, it's so beautiful. Without love, we have nothing at all. Love endures in all things. It has no end. It's patient and kind. It's forgiving. It doesn't get angry or resentful. It never gives up. It's always hopeful. It's charitable and fearless and not boastful or envious. Wow, just beautiful, Badger. It's really helpful to know that Zone 1 and Zone 2 are built on conflict, anger, and aggression. Zone 3 is built on love and kindness, and Zone 4 is built on fearlessness, and it's built on authenticity. Turning to the community favorites, we can see VRA, Veracity, is doing really, really well. It's showing a lot of power, and I'm not surprised. VRA has been under resistance for 3 months. I believe when VRA is going to pop, it's going to pop a lot. Icon is also showing a lot of power. Notice the Bitcoin's gravity. Look at that. You can see it all the time. In these particular alts, everything is affected by Bitcoin's gravity. Look at, for example, sushi. When Bitcoin comes up, what does sushi do? It comes up. We've seen a little bit of weakness here because Percy the magnetized price sheep is going down the fence. It makes sense. When you get really, really deep into the heart of crypto technical analysis, you'll understand so very much. IOTA, what's IOTA doing? It actually recorded an uptake before Bitcoin's gravity kicked in. We can see also Loopring. Look at Loopring. It's starting to come up. It's starting to go pretty hard into it. Let's have a look at IOTEX. IOTEX following Bitcoin's fingerprint, following the gravity, the power source of Bitcoin. You can see it just playing out across the entire crypto space. Sometimes people say, oh, Ken, why do we even bother with the alts? Why don't we just do Bitcoin? And that's a really fair and legitimate question. The reason is the alts give us a very, very different dimension. For example, if you were in Gala and you saw this very big spike in price, and I was suggesting that this could be a bit of a sell spike. And personally, I shared a trade that I'd made in Gala with the Masterclass in one of the live videos. What we do when we look at this kind of price action, if the percentage is good enough, that's fine. We can just lock in a profit. We can always buy back lower if we wish. It's really important to keep in your mind that Zone 1 and Zone 2 are the perfect timing zones. Perfect timing doesn't exist. In Zone 3, we don't care about perfect timing. We just think, is this reasonable? Am I happy with this? If the answer is yes, you go ahead and you pull the trigger. And a lot of times, price can just keep on going up. And then in Zone 1 and Zone 2, people say, oh, I didn't sell, I could have got more. And they feel that they can capture everything. It's not possible. You don't worry about things like that. Getting into Zone 3 is the key. In Zone 3, you have a trading plan. You know what you're doing. And then you just execute according to that. And you then just disassociate from it. It doesn't matter if it continues to go up. You got the target. You have what you're happy with. And that's really important. There are so many incredible comments in the comments section, and I just want to reach out to our beautiful community, our extended global family, and say how much I appreciate each and every one of you. You're just magnificent people. Buildy had a really nice thing to share. He shared, be kind, be kind, be kind before choosing my reaction. Wow. Gabriel talks about balance as encapsulating all the other qualities. We have good days and bad days, ups and downs. Having a balanced outlook enables you to be kind to yourself and others and appreciate life for what it is. It's a roller coaster ride. Buildy was on fire. Buildy said, gratitude is really good. Gratitude flows, humility and humbleness follow, an appreciation of the world and how you react. Your ego stays in check. Rather than thinking that you know better than what's actually happening, you can be accepting of what's happening and work within the flow and build on what you've received to return something even greater for the benefit of everything. We don't seek to tear down, steal, or destroy. Instead, we create beauty and abundance. Absolutely. That's a cornerstone of what we do inside our community. Well done, Buildy. Jess also made a really beautiful comment. Jess likes kindness and authenticity. The universe promotes you when you are kind to others. Having goodwill, good intention makes good things happen. And Jess said, planting the seed, real well thinking, is the best gift ever. Thanks so much, Jess. I really love what Cheryl said. Cheryl said, gratitude is really good. Life presents you a teacher that you need at that moment. If you're having a pullback, that can be a teacher too. That's excellent. Illness, hardship, the red days, they can all teach us something. They can teach us a lesson to be grateful for the chance to learn and grow. Every moment is your guru. Wow, Cheryl, that's really good. And gratitude is a foundation stone from which you can lift yourself up from hard times and move forward. Otherwise, you are stuck where you are. Superb, Cheryl. Literally, there are just so many comments. Every one deserves to be read out. I'm sorry for all the people that I've missed. Dan said, kindness. If this whole world had a little bit more kindness, we would see a different world, a whole different world. Everybody would live a better life. And that's so absolutely true. Having kindness and bringing kindness into each and every day is a really, really strong thing to do. It takes a lot of courage and honor to be kind. Kindness is never weak. It's always strong. Flamingo said, there's more than enough resources for everyone. And this, I think, is incredibly important, what Flamingo says next. The way in which this world is structured makes us believe there is lack. Thus, we must have competition. I believe we're moving into a time where we will help each other and we together will build a world of beautiful communities instead of operating from the belief that we must earn a living. This actually communicates the core values of the masterclass. We don't compete with anyone. We lift up and we support others. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and thank you so much to our ambassadors for being just shining beautiful lights in the crypto technical analysis community. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I have left helpful links in the description of this video, such as my link to my Twitter profile, as well as the link to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.